Chosen one, there is a phone ringing in the highest office of the Matrix right now, and nobody wants to answer it. There is a report sitting on the desk of the president, the governing authority of the system that tried to keep you small, and the contents of that report have sent shockwaves through the entire administration of darkness. Why? Because for the first time in the history of your bloodline, for the first time in the history of your timeline, someone actually did it. Someone dared to cross the line. Someone dared to break the seal. Someone dared to clear the level that was supposed to be impossible. That someone is you. The shift that hit the spirit realm wasn't just a shift. It was a security breach. The enemies who attacked you, the agents, the narcissists, the energy vampires, are scrambling right now. Panic is spreading through their ranks like wildfire. They are looking at the data. They are looking at the surveillance, and they are terrified. They are realizing that they didn't just attack a regular person with potential. They attacked the first of their kind. You need to understand the gravity of this moment. Usually when the system applies pressure, when it sends betrayal, isolation, financial struggle, and heartbreak, the target folds. 99.9% of people take the deal, they settle, they compromise, they lower their standards. They accept the counterfeit just to make the pain stop. Your father couldn't pass this level. Your mother couldn't pass this level. Your ancestors struggled against this same wall for generations and eventually tapped out. The president of this dark system was counting on you to do the same. They had your file on the desk. They had your psychological profile. They predicted that you would break by age 25. They predicted you would turn bitter or addicted or compliant. But you are the anomaly. You looked at the impossible odds, and you dared to say no. You looked at the counterfeit blessing they offered you, the fake relationship, the easy money, the hollow success, and you dared to walk away. You dared to believe that you were worth more than what they were offering. And because you dared, because you stood your ground when every statistic said you should fall, you broke the simulation. The president is shocked because there is no protocol for this. They don't have a plan for someone who refuses to be bought. They don't have a strategy for someone who values their soul more than their safety. They feel tricked. The source transcript says it feels to them like God tricked them. And in a way, He did. God sent you into their territory disguised as a civilian. You looked normal. You looked like you would follow the rules. You looked like you would be an easy target. So they attacked you. They tested you. They tried to haze you, but they didn't know they were hazing the incoming commander. They didn't know they were trying to bully the pioneer. Now they are realizing that they accidentally activated the very thing they were trying to suppress. By attacking you, they gave you the resistance training you needed to break the record. They traded a divine being for a counterfeit, thinking they won. But now the universe is collecting the debt, and the interest rate is catastrophic. You are the first. You are the first in your family to break the cycle of poverty. You are the first to break the cycle of abuse. You are the first to heal the trauma instead of passing it down. You are the first to actually ascend. This is why the atmosphere around you feels so heavy right now. You are experiencing re-entry turbulence. When a spaceship leaves the atmosphere, it shakes violently right before it breaks into zero gravity. You are shaking the system because you are breaking the gravitational pull of your lineage. The authority is shocked. The dark entities are confused. They are looking at the monitors and shouting, "How are they still standing? How are they still sane? How are they still sane? How are they still loving?" You dared to do what no one else could do. You dared to stay real in a world of fakes. And because you dared, you have made history. The file on the desk is open. Your name is highlighted in red. The president is staring at it in disbelief. You did it. Now, do you have the courage to acknowledge your status? If you know deep down that you just broke a generational record, if you know you are the breaker of chains for your entire bloodline, drop the word history in the comments right now. Let the system know that the first has arrived and you are not going anywhere. Now, let's look at how you shocked the system. Let's analyze the specific dare that caused this glitch in the matrix. The system runs on a very specific operating system called logic of the world. The logic says, if you are betrayed, you should be broken. The logic says, if you are attacked by a group, you should hide. The logic says, if you are offered a safe but hollow relationship, you should take it because something is better than nothing. This is the bureaucracy of mediocrity. This is the law that governs 99% of the population. But you dared to impeach the logic. The conflict started when they tried to make a trade with you. The source transcript reveals that this person waged war on you because something you had was missing from their life. They saw your value, they saw your light, but they also saw the cost. Being with a chosen one costs something. It costs ego, it costs growth, it costs truth. They didn't want to pay the price, so they looked for a discount. They found someone else. They found a third party. They found a situation that looked shiny on the outside, but was empty on the inside. They traded the divine for the deceiver. They traded the embodiment of love for the embodiment of hollow. Logic told them this was a smart move. Logic told them, go with the easy option. Go with the money. Go with the person who doesn't challenge your soul. They bet against you. They short-sold your stock because they thought you would crash without them. But here is the shock. Here is the statistical anomaly that has the president of darkness sweating in his suit. You didn't crash. You defied the odds. You looked at the statistical probability of failure and you laughed. They left you in the desert, expecting you to die of thirst. Instead, you built a well. They threw you to the wolves, expecting you to be eaten. You came back, leading the pack. You dared to bet on yourself when the odds were zero. You impeached the logic of fear and installed your own constitution of faith. This is a massive violation of the Matrix's rules. You weren't supposed to survive that heartbreak. You weren't supposed to thrive after that betrayal. By flourishing in the face of their rejection, you proved that their logic is flawed. You proved that their smart move was actually the biggest mistake of their lives. Now, look at them. Look at the result of their trade. They are feeling unhinged. They are singing sad songs in the spirit. They are looking at the counterfeit they chose, and the illusion is crumbling. They thought the grass was greener. Now they realize it was painted concrete. They thought they were upgrading. Now they realize they bought a lemon. They are sitting in the wreckage of their own logical decision, realizing that logic without spirit is a trap. The president is shocked because you bypassed the bureaucracy of waiting your turn. The world told you to wait. Wait until you have more money. Wait until you are healed. Wait until you are healed. Wait until they come back. You dared to say, I am not waiting. You dared to bypass the gatekeepers. You dared to go straight to the source. You dared to claim your worth before the world validated it. This is the energy of the dark horse. In politics, a dark horse is a candidate who is little known but suddenly rises to prominence and wins. You are the dark horse of your lineage. No one saw you coming. You were the black sheep. You were the scapegoat. You were the one they laughed at. But while they were laughing, you were building. While they were sleeping, you were evolving. And now the polls have closed. The results are in. The scapegoat has become the goat. Greatest of all time, the black sheep has become the golden child. They tried to trade you like a common card, not realizing you were the ace of spades. And now that you have played your hand, the house has lost everything. You dared to be the exception to the rule, and in doing so, you proved that the rules were fake all along. But the president, the architect of this system, didn't just rely on logic to stop you. When logic failed, he sent in a secret service. You have to understand that there is a perimeter around the highest levels of success and spiritual freedom. The matrix is designed to keep people in specific zones. Your family has been kept in a specific zone for generations. Your community has been kept in a specific zone. Whenever someone tries to cross the border into true freedom, the system deploys its agents to intercept them. The source transcript confirms this. It says, "This wasn't random. This was organized, coordinated, multiple people working together with one goal: stop you from reaching your destiny." This was the Matrix's tactical response team. These weren't just haters. These were gatekeepers. They sent family members to guilt-trip you. They sent co-workers to sabotage you. They sent spiritual people in your community to throw black magic, graveyard dirt, and jealous energy at you. They tried to create a no-fly zone around your destiny. For generations, this strategy worked. When your ancestors tried to rise, the Secret Service shut them down with addiction. When your parents tried to heal, the Secret Service shut them down with poverty and fear. Everyone else who tried to dare got detained. They got stopped at the border. But you caused a security failure. You pulled off what I call the ghost protocol. When the attacks ramped up, when they came for your name, your money, and your sanity, you didn't engage in a firefight. You didn't stand there and argue with the agents. You went stealth. You realized that fighting them on their level was a trap. If you stopped to fight the guard dog, you never make it to the castle. So you slipped the net. You stopped broadcasting your moves. You stopped explaining your vision to people who were committed to misunderstanding you. You took your plans offline. You took your healing into the secret place, and the Secret Service lost visual contact. They were looking for you in the drama frequency, but you weren't there anymore. They were looking for you in the victim frequency, but you had already ascended. They were casting spells on a version of you that no longer existed. This is why they are panicking. The radar is empty, but the success metrics are rising. They can see you winning, but they cannot figure out how you got past the blockade. You successfully breached the restricted airspace of the chosen ones. You walked right past the doubts. You walked right past the curses. You walked right past the coordinated smear campaigns. You treated their obstacles like they were holograms. You dared to walk through them. And for the first time in the history of your bloodline, the security measures failed to detect the intruder until you were already sitting in the chair. You are now occupying territory that your lineage was never supposed to touch. You have the peace they said you couldn't have. You have the wisdom they tried to beat out of you. You have the favor they tried to curse. The alarms are ringing in the Oval Office of the enemy. The president is screaming at his agents. How did they get in? Who let them pass? I thought we blocked their destiny. The agents have no answer. They are baffled. We threw everything at them, sir. We used the jealousy protocol. We used the betrayal protocol. We used the isolation protocol. Nothing worked. Why? Because you are the first. You are the prototype of a new kind of warrior, a warrior who doesn't fight the gatekeepers, but simply vibrates higher than the gate. You dared to enter the forbidden zone of success, and you did it without a permission slip. You just walked in like you own the place. And now that you are here, they cannot kick you out. So you breached the perimeter. You ghosted the agents. But simply entering the room isn't enough. To stay there, you had to change the rules. This brings us to the most dangerous dare of all. The moment you decided to rewrite the law, you see every family line comes with a constitution. It is a set of unwritten laws that govern what is possible for you. For some, the Constitution says, Article 1, you shall always struggle financially. For others, Article 2, your relationships will always end in betrayal. Or Article 3, you will never surpass your parents. These laws are enforced by trauma. They are signed in blood, and the president of the Matrix expects you to abide by them. He expects you to read the contract of suffering and sign it just like everyone else did. But you did something unprecedented. You pulled out your own pen. You looked at the contract of generational trauma and you said, I veto this. You looked at the curse that has plagued your last name for 100 years and you issued an executive order. You didn't just survive the pain they sent you, you used it as ink. This is the alchemy of the chosen one. The source transcript talks about transmuting pain into power. Do you understand what that means in a legal sense? It means you took the evidence they tried to use against you and you turned it into your credentials. The betrayal, that became the clause of independence. The isolation, that became the statute of sovereignty. The attacks, that became the Bill of Rights for your protection. You literally rewrote the constitution of your bloodline while you were under fire. The authority is shocked because they didn't know you had legislative power. They thought you were just a citizen. They didn't know you were a judge. They didn't know that you carry the authority to annul old agreements and ratify new ones. When you said, "It ends with me," that wasn't just a cute phrase. That was a binding legal decree in the spirit realm. When you said, "I will not be bitter," you were repealing the law of victimhood. When you kept going despite the odds, you were enacting the law of triumph. You are the first in your history to legislate your own freedom. Your ancestors are watching from the gallery, standing in awe. They are whispering, "Look at them. They are tearing up the old contracts. They are burning the debts we couldn't pay." The president is furious because his laws no longer apply to you. He tries to enforce the law of fear, but you have immunity. He tries to enforce the law of lack, but you have your own currency. You have created a sovereign state within yourself. You are not governed by the economy of the world. You are governed by the economy of God. You are not governed by the opinions of man. You are governed by the vision of the Spirit. You dared to take the pen out of the enemy's hand. You dared to say, "My life will not look like my past." And because you signed that executive order with the ink of your own perseverance, the universe had no choice but to stamp it approved. You have successfully amended the timeline. The curse stops here. The blessing begins here. You are the author now. If you are ready to make this official, if you are ready to ratify this new reality and let the spirit realm know that the old laws are null and void, I need you to sign the decree in the comments. Write this: I am the first. The curse ends here. Put your name on the new constitution. Let the record show that you were the one who changed everything. And to support this channel, the headquarters of the resistance, hit the join button or the super thanks. Vote for your own expansion. You have signed the order. You have breached the perimeter. Now comes the moment the president of the old system has been dreading. It is time for the State of the Union address. In the physical world, you might still be in the waiting room, but in the spiritual realm, the inauguration has already begun. The universe is currently broadcasting a message to every entity, every spirit, and every hater attached to your name. The message is simple. New management, You are no longer just a participant in your lineage. You are now a dignitary. You dared to demand respect from a world that wanted to silence you. And now the world has no choice but to give it. This is the phase where the panic in the enemy camp turns into forced respect. You see, in the hierarchy of power, rank is undeniable. You can hate the general, but you must salute the general. You can despise the king, but you must bow to the king. Your enemies, the ones who betrayed you, the ones who gossiped, the ones who tried to block you, are realizing they are no longer dealing with a civilian. They are dealing with someone who has diplomatic immunity, because you passed the tests, because you cleared the levels no one else could clear. God has issued you a spiritual passport that grants you protection in territories where others would be destroyed. The Secret Service of the Matrix has been ordered to stand down. The obstacles that used to block you are being removed by the motorcade of destiny. The president is shocked because he has to hand over the keys. This is the peaceful transfer of power. You took the power back, you took the authority back, you took the pen back, and now you are standing at the podium of your life, and the audience is silent. They are waiting to hear what you have to say. Your words now carry the weight of law. When you speak, the atmosphere changes. When you walk into a room, the demons tremble, not because you are loud, but because they see the badge. They see the seal of approval from the Most High. They see the scars of the battles you won. They see the history you made. This is why they are staying away from you now. They aren't just ignoring you. They are terrified of violating protocol. They know that touching you now comes with a federal sentence in the spirit. They know that you are protected property. You are the first. And being the first means you are the standard. You are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who raises the bar. The State of the Union is strong because you are strong. The panic they felt, that was just them realizing they were on the wrong side of history. They bet against the winner. They campaigned against the victor. And now they have to watch from the cheap seats while you take the oath of office. You are being sworn in as the leader of your new reality. The old administration of fear, lack, and drama has been voted out. The new administration of power, purpose, and peace has been sworn in. And the president, the system that tried to break you, he is standing in the corner, shocked, humbled, and defeated. He has no choice but to nod his head. He tried to stop you. He failed. And now he has to watch you govern. The shock has faded. The panic has subsided. And what remains in the office of the enemy is a heavy, silent realization. It is the realization of permanence. They thought your resistance was a phase. They thought your healing was temporary. They thought you would eventually crash and burn like everyone else. But you didn't. You solidified. You went from being a glitch in their system to a monument in the kingdom. You have reached the Mount Rushmore stage of your journey. Your victory is no longer a debate. It is history. It is carved in stone. It is part of the landscape now. When people look at your bloodline 50 years from now, they will point to this moment. They will point to you. They will say, that was the one who turned the ship around. That was the one who stopped the curse. That was the one who dared. You are the founding father or founding mother of a new era for your name. You impeached the old administration of trauma. You enacted the new constitution of freedom. And now your face is on the currency of your lineage. You are the gold standard. The president of the old world has to accept this. He cannot scrub you from the records. He cannot delete your file. You have done too much damage to the darkness. You have shined too much light. You are too big to fail now. And what about those who betrayed you? What about the ones who tried to stop you? They are realizing their place in history too. They are realizing that they will only be remembered as the opposition. They are the footnotes in your biography. They are the villains in your movie, necessary for the plot, but destined to lose in the third act. They thought they were the main characters. Now they realize they were just the resistance training God used to build your muscles. They tried to bury you, not realizing they were the dirt that held the seed. They tried to break you, not realizing they were the hammer that forged the steel. You are the first. And being the first is never easy. That is why it hurts so much. That is why it was so lonely. The icebreaker ship takes the most damage because it has to smash through the frozen ocean first. The ships that follow get to sail in the clear water. You broke the ice. You took the hits. You absorbed the shock. And because you did that, the water is clear now. The path is open. You proved it was possible. You proved that a person can walk through hell and come out smelling like smoke-free destiny. You proved that logic doesn't apply to a chosen one. So, here is your final instruction from the Oval Office of the Spirit. Do not lower the flag. You have raised the standard. Keep it there. Do not let anyone talk you down. Do not let anyone negotiate your price. You have presidential authority now. You don't engage in petty arguments. You don't fight in the mud. You govern from the balcony. If they want to reach you, they have to climb. If they want to speak to you, they need an appointment. If they want to be in your presence, they need a security clearance. And the only clearance is truth. You have impeached the fake. You have inaugurated the real. The record is broken. The history is written. The president is shocked. The enemy is defeated. And you are just getting started. You dared to do it, and you did it. Hail to the chief. And we need to open the classified files one last time to understand the sheer magnitude of this statistical anomaly. We need to debrief on why the shock in the enemy camp is so profound, and why this victory is not just a personal win, but a cosmic event. You have to realize that you are what the data analysts in the Matrix call a black swan event. In probability theory, a black swan is an event that comes as a complete surprise, has a major effect, and is often inappropriately rationalized after the fact with the benefit of hindsight. The system is designed to predict human behavior. It runs algorithms based on your trauma, your socioeconomic background, your family history, and your pain tolerance. The algorithm looked at your file 10 years ago. It ran the numbers. It said, given the level of abuse, given the level of neglect, given the financial disadvantages, and given the betrayal they are about to experience, the probability of this subject collapsing is 99.9%. The system bet the house on your failure. The president of darkness allocated resources based on the assumption that you would fold. They sent the narcissists to harvest you because they listed you as free food. They sent the obstacles because they listed you as easy to block. But you introduced a variable they could not code for. You introduced the God variable. You introduced a level of resilience that defies psychological models. You introduced a capacity for forgiveness that defies emotional logic. You introduced a persistence that defies physical exhaustion. They are shocked because their math broke. You broke the calculator. They are looking at the charts right now, and the line that was supposed to flatline is going vertical. They are witnessing infinite ROI, return on investment, on a stock they tried to delist. And this leads us to the ancestral audit. This shockwave isn't just horizontal, traveling to your enemies. It is vertical, traveling through your bloodline. You are the first. Do you understand the spiritual mechanics of being the first? It means you had no reference point. You had no prototype. You were building a plane while falling off a cliff. Your father couldn't show you how to handle this level of emotion because he numbed it. Your mother couldn't show you how to handle this level of power because she gave hers away. Your grandparents couldn't show you how to generate this level of wealth because they were in survival mode. You had to download the blueprints directly from the source. You had to be the architect and the builder at the same time. That is why it was so lonely. Loneliness is the tax you pay for being the first. Confusion is the tax you pay for being the pioneer. The president is shocked because usually when a bloodline is cursed, it stays cursed until it dies out. But you acted as a circuit breaker. The surge of trauma came down the line, from great-grandparent to parent, gaining speed, gaining voltage, ready to fry you. And you stood there. You took the hit. You absorbed the shock, and you said, "Ground." You grounded the trauma. You didn't pass it to your children. You didn't pass it to your team. You processed it. You alchemized it. And in doing so, you cleared the grid. You retroactively healed the timeline. The ancestors who are watching you, even the ones who failed, are standing in awe because you achieved what they prayed for, but couldn't manifest. You are the answer to a prayer that was prayed 100 years ago in a language you don't even speak. Now, let's look at the economy of betrayal from this high vantage point, the people who left you, the ones who dared to walk away from the first. They are currently experiencing the worst case of seller's remorse in history. They sold their shares in you, incorporated right before the IPO. They looked at you when you were in the development phase, when you were messy, when you were healing, when you were broke, and they thought, this asset is worthless. So they sold. They dumped the stock. They went to invest in something easier. And now, they are watching the ticker. They are watching you hit new highs every single day. They are watching your glow return. They are watching your finances stabilize and multiply. They are watching your peace become unshakable. They are realizing that they walked away from a unicorn, and the person they chose instead, the counterfeit, that asset is crashing. It is depreciating. It has hidden liabilities, drama, toxicity, emptiness that they didn't see during the due diligence phase. This is why they are trying to ping you. This is why they are hovering. They want to buy back in, but the price has gone up. The price is no longer potential. The price is now performance, and they cannot afford you anymore. You have moved into a different tax bracket of the spirit. Your currency is peace. Your currency is truth. And they are bankrupt in both. The president is shocked because he thought he could bankrupt you by taking them away. He thought your value was tied to their validation. He didn't know that your value is intrinsic. It is built into your hardware. Taking people away from you didn't reduce your value. It reduced your overhead. It lowered your operating costs. It freed up bandwidth. You got richer when they left. And this brings us to the cartography of the soul. You are the map maker. Because you are the first, you are the one drawing the map for everyone who comes after you. This is a heavy responsibility, but it is also the ultimate glory. Every time you refused to give up, you drew a road on the map where there used to be a jungle. Every time you chose love over hate, you built a bridge over a canyon. Every time you trusted your intuition, you placed a lighthouse on the shore. You have civilized the wild territory of your lineage. Now, because of you, the path is clear. Your children, physical or spiritual, will not have to hack through the vines like you did. They can walk on the road you paved. Your legacy isn't just what you have. It is what you made easier for others. The system hates this. The system relies on people getting lost. But you have created a GPS for freedom within your DNA. You have coded victory into your epigenetics. You have changed the default setting of your avatar from survivor to conqueror. And finally, we must address the seal of the sovereign. There is a mark on you now, in the spirit realm. It looks like a presidential seal. It signifies that you have been tested, vetted, and approved by the highest authority. This seal grants you specific privileges. One of them is veto power. You now have the power to veto energy that enters your field. In the past, you absorbed other people's bad moods. You absorbed their projections. You absorbed their demons,